Greetings once again, future demon lords. Duuz-Diz-Din back with more Dead Rock. Now, previously, we saw the true malicious force of the god of the demon realm, answering the prayers of those on Earth, only to assault them with devastation, turning their wishes into nightmares. Something we came to find out is the driving factor behind Yakuto's actions, as it seems like one of his villages suffered the same fate. So, apparently Yakuto is human, or at least he was at some point. And so while Yakuto saw a moment to get some information, the rest of Class F found themselves under attack by Class D, as apparently some students that Ryzen had previously killed in the cafeteria, who wanted to go after him that he killed, well, their classmates didn't take too kindly to that, even though they started the assault. And so, led by the popular kid of their class, Narcissus, the assault on Class F began, and ended with all of Class D pretty much being wiped out, with Makoto even going so far as to resurrect the whole of Class D and sick them on Narcissus. And well, this topic does come up during the meeting of the teachers and faculty. We got to see those in charge, as Yakuto was observing things through Maxwell's eyes, who had been also resurrected by Makoto. We got to know the 4 demon teachers, all serving underneath the god of the demon realm. One of their biggest subjects mostly being how rowdy Class F could really be. And while they don't mind students killing each other, it's obvious that they wouldn't much care for an escalation, the likes of which, I don't know, might be them wiping out an entire other class. On top of this, when God finally manages to get there to the meeting, he confronts Maxwell about this, almost seemingly noticing that Yakuto is observing through Maxwell's eyes, which he promptly pokes out. This sends Yakuto into a fear spiral, and as he scrambles away from his location, he runs into an odd girl with cat ears who had been observing him previously, who seems to have some understanding of what Yakuto is. Who is this girl and what does she know? And how much does the god of the demon realm know about Yakuto's plans to take him out, if he knows anything at all? And how will the death of Class D come to bite Class F in the ass? Join me as I find out, won't you? Right, Dead Rock, Chapter 4. Death Arena. An interesting grouping here. Frey, Hien, Hani, and Choco. Alright, well, let's jump into the chapter. See if they're actually relevant or Mashima just felt like drawing these characters. Alright, so I almost wanted to say dawn comes to Dead Rock, but it's really hard to tell. But as the kids of Class F are walking through Dead Rock, some of the other students seem to be chattering amongst themselves, more than likely about what they had done. Yep, sure enough, the gossip amongst the other students goes as such. Hey, did you hear what Class F did? They totally wiped out Class D. Crap. Kuga-san's definitely gonna hear about this. That's not even funny. If Kuga-san comes out, who's this Kuga? The new kids are all dead meat, huh? Hien's ears perk up. He thinks to himself, Kuga? Interesting. Is there some association? Meanwhile, Yakuto's lost in thought. He thinks to himself, God found out that Maxwell-sensei was a fake, and he might know it was me. No. What am I getting scared for? I came here to kill God. I need to be prepared. And just who was that girl? Wait, so you guys didn't continue your conversation beyond that? Who is she? He thinks, it sounded like she knew about my curse, and she disappeared right afterwards. Okay, so she just mentioned it and left. Meanwhile, Chaco just lands on Yakuto's head. She then calls out, hey, where's your damn chair, you damn brat? Phew, this guy's head is all fluffy. Honey says it's not a bird's nest. Chaco gets angry saying, hey, you jerk. Just because I'm a bird, that doesn't mean I make everything a nest. But suddenly, Yakuto is jolted by someone saying, you scared? It's Ryzen who smiles back at Yakuto saying, today's class is practical training. Dueling to the death at Death Arena. Frey laughs saying, this rocks. I've been waiting for something like this. While Mikoto seems to be delighted saying, a tremendous number of souls of the dead must be slumbering there. Will I be able to eat them all? And Yakuto thinks, Death Arena. Lozen Sensei, one of the 4 demon teachers, is here. So we arrive at the Dead Rock Death Arena, which looks dilapidated at best. Weird orbs of energy on top of certain towers here. Freak. One thing that I must say about Mashima's artwork is that his architecture work is very well done. As they enter, Mikoto takes a few steps inside and then suddenly she's kneeling. Frey asks, "What's wrong, Mikoto?" Mikoto, while still smiling, a nervous smile, she says, "It's a bit more than I expected. The many voices of the soul slumbering here. No, their many scream." Choco gets immediately nervous and tries to fly off, but Hani grabs her by her scarf, asking, "Why are you trying to leave?" Choco says, "I can only fight as good as a bird." And Choco says, "Because that's what you are. Are you stupid?" I'm waiting for Choco to show us what she's really made of. Oh, suddenly, is that a chariot? Chariot wheels start rattling towards the group. They turn, and, oh god, they see Lozen atop one of the 2 horses pulling the chariot as he sings, "Tra-la-la, tra-la-la." I'm thinking of Captain Underpants. And then it says, "Now," and leaps off of the horse's head, going into a superhero landing pose. He's getting his JoJo on as he shakes them hips with a wiggle, 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 and then he blows up the carriage, sending the horses flying. That is so unnecessary. As the students of Class F shield their eyes from the blast, Lozen strikes a pose saying, "Hey Class F, I'm Lozen. Let's have some hot duels today." I kinda love this guy. Frey excitedly calls out, "Yes!" Horizon questions, "What are we doing in this practical training?" Hani says, "Beats me." Lozen then perks up with a gleaming smile saying, "By the way, kids, I hear you killed all of Class D." He starts clapping, saying, "Sweet, that's great. So, to start off, I want to see what you can do." Mikoto smiles, saying, "What an invigorating teacher." Although Hien says the way he moves is annoying, though. But Yakuto is dead serious. He thinks to himself, if we all fought him at once, could we kill him? Man, always going for the murder, Yakuto. While Loz is just over there smiling, giving them a thumbs up. But Yakuto thinks he might not seem it, but he's quite powerful. If I misjudge things here, he'll kill us. Lozen then calls out to the students, "First, I'll have you break into pairs for practice fight. One-on-one. Hot duels. Woohoo!" Frey glomps onto Yakuto, saying, "I'll battle Yakuto," catching Yakuto off guard. Meanwhile, Mikoto raises her hand, saying, "I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well. Could I sit this one out and rest?" Lozen shouts, "Yes, certainly. Rest is essential for warriors." And Choco says, so loud. This guy is always operating at a 100. Ryzen turns to Hien, saying, "Then I'm stuck with the ice doggy?" And Hien says, "Silence, zombie." God. Choco turns to Hani, saying, "If Hani's my opponent, I've got a doggone chance of winning, huh?" And Hani questions, "Are you underestimating me? Are you stupid?" Lozen pumps his fist, saying, "Now, begin! Let's battle!" I'm curious, though. Lozen made it clear that wiping out of a whole class wasn't a good thing. And who was this person they said was going to come after them for what they did? Well, regardless, I'm also surprised that they're able to just wear their casual clothes for this. But I guess school uniforms are mostly for, like, regular class activities. Anything action-oriented, they get to wear their own stuff. Regardless, as Frey and Yakuto face off, Frey says, "I've been waiting to go up against you." While Yakuto says, "Frey-san, this is just a practice match." But Frey has love in her eyes, saying, "Come at me for real." Ooh, kinky. Yakuto nervously says, "But we're friends." So hitting each other is a bit, but Frey gets in her stance, saying, "Then I'll kick ya!" And she goes in with an explosive kick right to Yakuto's face. And Yakuto is sent flying. She really is just what if Natsu was female, which don't really change too much, all things considered. Frey then goes racing in on him. Yakuto barely has a chance to process as Frey goes for a low sweep kick, but Yakuto flips away from it. But just as Yakuto readies himself, Frey begins to go in with a fiery punch. So Yakuto uses Dragon Flame, enhancing his fists with the arm of the Black Dragon. He meets Frey's punch, managing to counter it, They seem evenly matched. As Frey calls out, great. Yakuto's a bit taken off guard, saying, hot. Lozin observes, going, oh. Frey tells him, way back when, I read a story about a battle between a fire wizard and a black dragon. Okay, does this take place in the fairy tale universe? Is that why Yakuto doesn't have one of those seasonal names? Because is Mashima just lampshading his own work within a work? Yakuto says, that sounds like us. Who won? And Frey says, the fire wizard. Though, he didn't win by himself, come on. Not to mention, he had dragon slayer abilities. Ooh. Meanwhile, Ryzen and Hien are clashing swords. They look fairly evenly matched. Ryzen says, you're better with a sword than I expected, dog. While Hien questions, and who are you to judge that, zombie? Ryzen smiles, saying, my root is Orochi. I'll show you. The 8 sword method. So the 8 heads of Orochi, and then he just summons these, energy swords? 6 that float behind him, and one of the energy swords in his other free hand. Interesting. Although Hien says dead serious, I'd feel bad for you if you got sliced into pieces again. I'll freeze your heart instead. And Hien's so cool. Meanwhile, Choco's just over there doing these jabbing movements, going whoosh, 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 whoosh. Choco then calls out to Hani, saying, come at me, clay doll. And Hani says, single bolt of lightning would probably cook you. You're sure? Choco yells out, don't underestimate me. I'll show you the power of Yatagarasu. Then Choco starts concentrating? Almost looks like Choco's about to drop a deuce. Oh no. Okay, I was wondering about this. As a foot pops out of Choco's head, Choco calls out, third foot, activate! Because the Yatagarasu is said to have 3 legs. But usually it doesn't come out of there. I was wondering about that, because I'm just like, the Yatagarasu, the 3-legged crow? Choco doesn't have 3 legs. It's like, it would have been better if you never showed me that 3rd leg. Naturally, Hani's just on the ground, rolling, saying, you grew a foot there? What the heck, are you stupid? Well, Choco says, hey, why are you laughing? I'm gonna cry. Meanwhile, Makoto's just off to the side, watching. Can see a little bit of her butt. While Lozen's just watching, being oddly quiet, saying, I see, I see. Meanwhile, Frey and Yakuto continue to clash. Yakuto calls out, wow, you're stronger than I imagined, Frey-san. While Frey says, we're not going all out yet, but you are too, Yakuto. As they back off of each other, Yakuto then asks, why did you come to Dead Rock? Frey says, well, I want to fight. I want to fight. She clenches her fists and looks on with a gentle smile, saying, but I also want to surpass my big sis. She didn't graduate. Yakuto questions, your big sister? Frey says, yeah. She was way stronger than me, but she didn't make it to graduation. She died during a class. And Freya thinks of her Frey. Keep wanting to call her Freyer. Frey thinks of her sister, who said, if I can graduate, I'll have made it further than her, right? Oh, okay, it's weird. The speech bubbles make it seem like it's Frey's sister talking, but then that sounds like something Frey would say. Oh, look at the little baby Frey. So cute. Frey remembers her big sister and asking her, you're going to Dead Rock, big sis? Her sister says, yeah. I'm going to become a demon queen and make a flame kingdom. Frey says, a flame kingdom, with admiration in her eyes. Frey's sister says, I'll make you a flame princess, Frey. Oh, Frey says, no, I want to be a knight. Her sister hugs her, saying, you're so cute, Frey. And Frey says, I love you too, big sis. Oh, Frey thinks fondly of her sister. Can't wait to see how this goes horribly wrong. I mean, it's Dead Rock. With the way we've seen things go on here, her sister could have died any number of ways and reasons. Lozen then calls out, okay, stop right there. Wow, you all blew my socks off. I'm enchanted. All of them turn to Lozen, a little taken off guard. He then smiles and says, so, I want you all. Ryzen questions, huh? Choco asks, what's this guy talking about? And Hani says, are you stupid? Uh-oh. Lozen then snaps his fingers, and the gates around the Colosseum close. Oh no, they open. We see shambling figures with chains around their ankles march out. Frey questions, what are those? Yakuto questions, people? As the figures shamble forth, getting closer and closer, Hani calls out, school uniforms. And Ryzen says, don't tell me they're student. Lozen smiles, saying, they sure are. Oh god. As we see all the other students who have shackles around their ankles and arms, all of them in uniforms that look disheveled and dirty and ugh. And their eyes. Are they zombies? Or are they under his control? Lozen laughs, saying, these are my battle pets. Your senpai. Oh yeah, they definitely look like zombies. Like some of them are missing part of their skulls. Choco freaks out. Hani says, what's that mean? Lozen says, this is way too creepy. Lozen continues to laugh, saying, don't worry, I have the principal's permission. He said I can pick about 10 students a year to make into my battle pet. Makoto questions, what are a battle pet? Lozen tells her, just what they sound like. They're pets to keep me satisfied. Lozen punches one, saying, I can hit him. He stabs another, saying, I can kill him. And then he licks a female one as he gropes her, saying, and I can enjoy the cuties in other ways too. Okay, of course. Typical Mashima. Yakuto looks on in disgust, while Lozen says, anyone my battle pets bites turns into a battle pet. Easy to understand, huh? So, I love that he immediately says, they're like zombies, looking at Ryzen, and Ryzen gets angry, saying, don't look at me. Frey questions, and why do we have to turn into those? Lozen laughs, saying, I told you, I'm enchanted by you. That's how it is. I fell for you. Battle pets have it good. It'll get my attention every day. Hien looks on in disgust, saying, this guy. Horizon says, he's a real creep. Choco questions, hey, aren't you a teacher? While Hani says, taking students for yourself. Frey turns to Makoto, saying, can you control them? But Makoto says, they're not dead bodies. Really? Because if that's not death, whew, I think I'd rather be dead. Yeah, Makoto looks genuinely disgusted, saying, though I can't say they're alive either. Oh. Lozen commands his battle pets, saying, okay, everyone, go give them a chomp so they can join you. Hani bats away one with with his hammer. I keep forgetting that Hani's a dude while Choco's a girl. At least as far as I know that they identify themselves as, unless something changes. Choco calls out, they're surprisingly strong. Hien says, and there's so many. Ryzen says, this is bad. Don't get bitten. Yakuto thinks to himself, this is why the 4 demon teachers with their divine power can't be left alive. I'm going to kill you. Yakuto gets between his class and the battle pets, telling them, please stand back, everyone. Yakuto thinks, and this is what it means to be prepared to challenge God himself. As Yakuto begins to transform, his other arm taking the form of the Black Dragon. So is he going full Black Dragon? I guess so. Lozen is shocked, saying, what? Ryzen questions, what the heck? Well, Hien says, this can't be real. Choco says, a black dragon. And as Yakuto's wings spread, his claws crack in the ground, the black dragon stands before them. Looks just like Acnologia, though a little less buff. Like, he's not as, like, huge in the chest department like Acnologia was. It basically looks like a teenage Acnologia. And as Yakuto roars, the others shield themselves from the force of it. Ryzen calls out, Yakuto turned into a black dragon. Mikoto questions, this is the dragon root? While Hien questions, he has the power to transform into a dragon? But Yakuto, in his massive form, he smashes at the battle pets, causing mass destruction with one swipe of his claws, sending the battle pets flying. And as Yakuto stands amongst the destructions he's caused, he roars. But Lozen looks on, obviously delighted. Choco says, whoa. Hani says, awesome. Frey then notices more of the battle pets approaching. Makoto says, they're coming from over there too. Uh-oh. Frey, she notices something. Of course, it's her sister. She questions, big sis? I really do question, though, because with all the references to Fairy Tail, either this is an alternate version of the world of Fairy Tail, takes place maybe in an alternate world, because we know the multiverse exists in Fairy Tail, and in Fairy Tail alone, we already had Earthland, Adolis, and then Elentir in the 100 Years Quest. So it's entirely possible that this is just another universe. But even in terms of Earthland, we don't really know too much about the demons. I mean, we know plenty about demons created by Zareth, because most of the demons we got to know in Fairy Tail were all creations of Zareth in one way, shape, or form, or it was that they were artificially made or something. The only outright demons we knew of were on Galuna Island during that arc. That was it. So it's entirely possible. Not to mention, I mean, we only spend time in one very small part of the Fairy Tail world in all of Fairy Tail. It's only with the sequel that we've traveled to a whole nother continent that just shows how big the world actually is. Hell, honestly, Dead Rock could easily be taking place on another side of the continent. Shoot, it's entirely possible for a good chunk of Rave Master to take place in the same world as Fairy Tail, just because of the size, although I kinda doubt it. We traveled a good chunk of the Rave Master world, and don't get me started on Eden Zero. So, I mean, it's possible. Anything could be possible. I feel like Mashima will probably have some big reveal at the end of everything, though. But we'll see. I'm also interested in Freya's relationship with her sister. Given the nature of the story, I doubt it's possible for her to be saved, but I mean, I don't know, the state some of them are in. For some, it seems like they could recover. For others, I don't know. I mean, if she were to die, could Makoto maybe bring her back? It's hard to know the rules of all this. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you want this series to be related to a fairy tale in some way? Hell, this might be the story of how Acnologia came to gain all of his power. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Mashima to be telling the story from that angle. Acnologia used to be a righteous person at one point, though he lost himself in what he was trying to do. We'll just have to wait and see, but I want to hear from you. So like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride, and until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.